He had been waiting for this evening with a mix of excitement and nervous energy. Everything had been carefully planned: the restaurant with its warm lighting and soft music, the perfectly ironed shirt he'd chosen after changing twice, and the bouquet of flowers sitting neatly on the table beside him. Tonight was supposed to be different, a night that could finally turn his lonely routine into something meaningful. As he checked his watch for the 5th time, he imagined how the conversation would flow, how laughter might fill the air, and how maybe, just maybe, this would be the beginning of something real. But as minutes turned into an hour, that spark of excitement started to fade. The empty chair across from him told a story louder than words. Sometimes, even the best-laid plans fall apart before they ever begin. He sat there, stirring the melting ice in his glass, watching couples around him share quiet smiles and soft conversations. The laughter from nearby tables only deepened the silence at his own. Each passing moment felt heavier, as if the air itself carried the weight of his disappointment. He had hoped for something special that night, a connection, a spark, but instead, he was left alone with his thoughts and a table set for 2. Doubts began to whisper in his mind, the kind that make you question if you're enough, if you're ever truly seen. Maybe he cared too much. Maybe he just wasn't the kind of man people stayed for. The night that once promised joy now felt like a quiet reminder of every time life had let him down. He exhaled softly, trying to smile through the ache, not realizing something far greater was about to unfold. Just as he gathered his things to leave, a faint sound caught his attention, the soft, uneven sobs of someone trying not to be noticed. He turned and saw a woman sitting alone in the corner, her hands trembling as she tried to wipe away her tears before anyone could see. Her coffee sat untouched, gone cold long ago. Something about the way she hid her pain struck a chord in him. For a moment, he forgot about his own disappointment. It was as if life had quietly shifted his focus, showing him that sometimes, even in your own heartbreak, you can still see someone else's. He hesitated, unsure if he should step forward or walk away, but his heart knew the answer before his mind did. The moment he noticed that mother crying, his night, and his understanding of love began to change forever. He took a quiet breath and walked over, his voice gentle as he asked if she was okay. At first she shook her head, insisting she was fine, but her trembling hands told another story. After a long pause, she opened up. Her little boy was in the hospital, fighting an illness she couldn't afford to treat. The weight in her voice was enough to break through the wall of his own sadness. Without thinking twice, he offered to help. She looked at him, startled, unsure why a stranger would care. But there was something pure in that moment. No expectations, no hidden motives, just one human reaching out to another. In helping her, he felt something inside him lift, as if by easing her pain he was mending a part of himself too. Sometimes compassion speaks louder than any words of comfort ever could. As they sat together talking through her fears and hopes, he realized that this moment, unexpected and unplanned, held more meaning than any date he could have imagined. There was no music, no romantic gestures, no perfectly rehearsed lines, yet something deeply real filled the space between them. For the first time in a long while, he felt connected, not because someone admired him, but because he had chosen to care without expecting anything in return. Her gratitude wasn't expressed in grand words, just a quiet thank you through tearful eyes. But it was enough. He saw that love wasn't always about romance or timing. It was about empathy, presence, and kindness when the world looked away. That night, in the midst of disappointment, he found something far more profound than affection. He found the kind of love that restores faith in humanity. A few days later, his phone rang with an unfamiliar number. On the other end was the same woman, her voice calm but filled with emotion. She explained that she wasn't just a struggling mother. She was the founder of a charitable foundation that helped single parents in need. That night at the cafe had been part of a quiet initiative to see how people responded to others in pain. He sat in stunned silence as she thanked him, not just for his kindness, but for proving that, Compassion still existed in a world often too busy to care. She told him his act would inspire a campaign to help hundreds more families. What began as a night of heartbreak turned into a moment of purpose, rewriting the meaning of love and success in his life. Sometimes destiny doesn't come as a date. It comes disguised as a chance to do good.